Hello everyone, and welcome to the Painting Paladin. My name is Justin, and today we are finally starting to add some scenery to our videos. Now scenery can turn your D&D adventure setting or Kings of War battlefield into a fully realized and immersive thing. Now there are plenty of cool things we could start off with, like a dwarven fortress or the ruins of an ancient civilization, but we're doing something different. Today, we're painting wood floors. Wait, wood floors? That's it? Alright, I guess we're painting some wood floors from Fat Dragon Games. Let's head on over to the workbench and get started on them, shall we? Alright, now before we begin, I undercoated this model with Wraithbone Spray. Now the first color that we're going to be using is Steel Legion Drab, and we're going to paint this all over the entire model. Moving on, the next color we're going to be using is Xandri Dust, but this time we're going to be applying it as a dry brush all over the surface. Now if you're not familiar with dry brushing, it's a technique where you dip your brush into the paint, wipe most of it off onto a paper towel until only a little remains, and then gently brush it over the surface. Okay, so the next color we're going to be using is Gorthor Brown. Now we're going to be applying this as a dry brush again, but this time we're going to be a little bit more selective on where we put it. So just kind of spread it around the base here. Okay, so moving on, the next color we're going to be using is Ushabti Bone. Now, just like what we did with the Gorthor Brown, we're going to be selective on dry brushing this all over the surface. Alright, so with that done, we can move on to the next color. Now the next color we're going to be using is Lead Belcher. Now we're going to be using this to paint all the nails that run down the middle of the pieces there. So just add a little dot to your brush and gently just tap the surfaces of the nails. Okay, moving on, the last thing we need to do is to give this model a wash. Now the color we're using for this is Agrax Earthshade, and we're applying it all over the surface here. Okay, so now that that wash is dry, you can see that it really helped tie all the colors together and that it gives the wood a more realistic feeling. Alright, now that we've finished these floors, we can use them in loads of different ways. I already have a layout in mind for these, but you can use them to build anything from houses and businesses to forts and cities. With the open lock design, they can be used in a variety of ways. Now, a few things to remember. The first is, although you could just throw some Steel Legion Drab and then give it a wash of Agrax Earthshade and call it good, adding in those few extra steps really helps bring out the best look. So, while painting wood floors can seem a bit boring, taking the time for these and those few extra steps is definitely worth it, so I highly recommend it. The second thing is, on my models, since there's only going to be one floor on my layout, I did not paint the bottom of the pieces. However, if you're going to be doing more than one floor, remember to paint the bottom of them. Now that we have the wood floors done, the next thing we're going to need is walls. So join us in our next video for painting walls. Wow, that sounds thrilling. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more of it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.